Well, for 12 years, Canada's food guide stayed the same until recently when it underwent major changes, bringing a wave of criticism. Dr. Andrew Samis, a member of Canadian Clinicians for Therapeutic Nutrition, is critical of the new food guide, and he joins us this morning from Kingston. Doctor, thank you for being here today. One of the big concerns is the fact that fruit and vegetables, according to this guide, appear to be the same. What concerns does that raise for you?
Good morning, Ben. Yes, I have some concerns about the new food guide, and it mostly relates to this overreaching principle they've put forward, which is to decrease the amount of meat, eggs, and dairy that Canadians are eating. And the science doesn't back that up. There isn't any reason to do that. Certainly, reducing that is one option for Canadians, but Canadians can eat a very healthy diet and not need to reduce the meat, eggs, and dairy in the diet, and that's concerning.
So why would something like that happen then? Who's talking to the government to say, make the food guide look more like this and less like that?
That's a very good question, and I think that's a question that Canadians need an answer to. The science has been very clear all along, and especially recently, where lots of good studies have suggested that the consumption of saturated fat, that is the fat that's in meat, that's in dairy, that's in eggs, is not associated with you dying of a heart attack or stroke, or getting a heart attack or stroke, or dying overall. And in fact, when there was an announcement made that we're going to have a new food guide, there was lots of excitement because it was a chance to finally get the question right about saturated fat. And I, along with lots of others, were shocked when they produced the guiding principle prior to releasing the food guide, which said they were going to come down against saturated fat. That's interesting, and it makes me wonder whether there is some sort of ideological bias here that's different than the science, because the science is not saying that.
Well, Canada's food guide used to be a rainbow graphic telling us how many portions to eat from the 4 major food groups, but now it's been replaced with an image of a plate that's half fruits and vegetables, 1/4 whole grains and proteins. Now, when you look at this plate of food, what's the major concern for you?
So the major concern for me is for a lot of Canadians out there, that bottom right corner of the plate that contains the bread and the pasta and the rice may be too much carbohydrates for them. And for a lot of Canadians, that's fine. But for some Canadians, their pathway to health, their pathway to avoiding things like obesity and type 2 diabetes and heart attack and stroke is going to come through the reduction of that part of the plate, even at the expense of increasing the protein part and perhaps even increasing the amount of meat they eat. Everyone is different, and Canadians need choice. Certainly, their plate is one of the healthy options, but it's not the only option. And my concern is that for a lot of the viewers out there, there's going to be too many carbohydrates on that plate for them to stay healthy.
Too many carbs and not enough meat. You're singing to my heart, Doctor. I appreciate it. Take care.
Well, that's good to hear.
All right.